Alrighty fam, welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be very simply covering the Grasshopper event boss, Ferocious Predator Indigenous Purgatory Creature. So we've had this boss before, so it's nothing kind of new or crazy. I just wanted to show you guys a couple of teams that I've been using that will work quite well. And they're pretty straightforward. There's nothing too crazy about this boss. The main thing is just the corrosions that you want to be careful of. So we'll jump into that soon. Now, this is the team I've been using. Skadi is insanely good for this. If you got her and you've got a build, I recommend using her for this fight because of the corrosions, because of her passive. Decreases all enemies' attack and defense by 8% and increases allies' skill damage dealt by 15% for each debuff on the hero, right? So I'm just using a full Ragnarok team. I have Freya Holy Relic as well, so this team is just really, really strong, just sheer damage. You can swap out a few of these things if you want to still build a Ragnarok team. I did have, instead of like Freya, I had, where is it? I'd Brawler Bran just for the extra attack. You can have, Brunhild if you want to as well. Those are probably the two others I'd probably recommend. You can't debuff the unit, so you can't debuff the boss. So using something like Sigurd with Tears and a good combo, I tried that. But yeah, this is pretty much the team that you're going to use, and I don't bother with any sort of food or anything. I have attack defense on Skadi, attack crit, and then that should be attack crit. Let me just swap that around. There we go. And then he's got attack crit back, and then that should be all the gear. Yeah. In terms of the card set, I have this card set, but we can't debuff him, so it just is what it is. We could probably change this card set up, to be honest, to put the attack card set right to it. So actually, let's do that. So if you do have this card set, this will give you an additional 9% attack when you have it maxed. So the one that I would use is... it increases all allies for unknowns, so I have 3 unknowns on the field, so this will work quite nicely for me. So I'll put that on instead, increase my attack, and then we'll get into it. So you can actually just straight up one shot the first phase, just because look at that thing, looks gorgeous. So you can pretty much one shot the first phase, so I will show you how to do that, and then the next phase you have to do it in 2 turns, so I'll show you the corrosion stacks. So you can see this purple card here. This applies 4 corrosions on all enemies, right? So if you let that stack up too hard, that's going to absolutely smash you. So that's going to be 20% of your HP. So you really want to be able to either deal with the corrosions in terms of have Skadi and then kill him quickly, or you want to be able to just cleanse it off with like a Margaret or a debuff removal card, right? So just to do this, I'm just going to do, just to show you guys, so just one shot, right? So I do have Skadi's Holy Relic as well, so I do this just to get the basic stats, which is nice. Tyr just absolutely goes to town, as you can see. And then Freya does heaps as well, because we've got 4 Ragnaroks on the field, and I have Freya's Holy Relic. So we can't crit with this one, so this is where you'll see a bit of an increase in, or this one will take a little bit longer. So I'm actually going to do this now. I'm actually going to show you guys the stance removal. Just because I can, but he does put up a counter stance. Doesn't really hurt, to be honest, especially if you're running the Skadi with all the debuffs. As you can see, we're just not critting at all. So I don't really rely on critting. This should do, yeah. So Skadi does a decent chunk here. I've now got an additional 2 debuffs, and then he'll apply this corrosion. This is what he does whenever he attacks. So if you let this stack up, you're in a lot of trouble, right? Now he does patience, as you can see, because I do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stacks of the debuffs on Skadi, so she just goes to work. I'm actually going to do this to see if we can show how weak the counter gets with a patience, because as you can see, he's down to 9k attack. Actually, that should show the decrease, but that's okay. And then his defense is lowered heaps as well. Then we'll cancel the stance, and then it is simple as just finishing off that. So let's see. That got rid of his damage increase. Oh, so he did crit both times, but he did no damage, right? And then this gets rid of the counter stance. So that'll get rid of the buff and the counter stance. So those two combined are really, really helpful for this, if you do have those guys. Now, I will show you a slightly more free-to-play friendly team. I'll be honest, I haven't even tried this team. This will be my first go at this team. I've just been running this team over and over. But you could run a human team if you want. But I'm going to be running this team. So I'm going to have Brunhild and Escanor for my damage. If you don't have the one ultimate, you can swap it out for another hard hitter. Same thing with Roxy, like you don't necessarily need these two. You could even run you know, where is it? You could even run, oh, I've got it on field, on characteristics, that's why. You could even run like Purgatory melee, or you can even run like Trader melee, right? Like it doesn't really matter. This is just effective human team because I have Roxy with Holy Relic. When I do crit on the first turn, we'll do additional damage, and then we'll have all this saved over. And Green Arthur is here to increase our damage dealt by 35% and decrease the damage we take by 35%. So again, this is a fast speedrun team. Once we do this, I'll actually even show you the like a goddess team you can use as well to make it nice and easy. And again, I'm still going to have this card set. Any sort of attack cards that you've got that'll buff your human or your units will be great. If not, just go for like max CC or max attack. But I should get 14% attack increase here because I have four humans. So let's do it. I think I've got it. I should have attack crit, attack crit, attack crit, and then HP defense on Arthur. So the rest of them have attack crit because they're my damage dealers, right? So let's do it. So again, I haven't tried this team yet. I've total faith this team is just going to absolutely obliterate. So I'm just going to do this, and then I'm going to do... I am actually just overly confident in this, so let's see. I think Roxy will delete with the Holy Relic. Yeah, obviously if you don't have Roxy Holy Relic, you won't do as much damage as my girl's doing. Go. So we're critting easily. So the Roxy, obviously passive, won't do as much on this phase because we're not going to crit. But we've still got a whole bunch. Oh, that was very lucky. We got a massive merge here. So I'm going to do just that, and that should be a one-shot as well. I think. Maybe not. We'll see. Because I'm still going to get the death damage from Escanor as well. So I might have to tank another full run. Not a full run, but like a... Here we go. Okay, so Roxy's still critting. So he's obviously got really high crit resistance, but I'm still getting the crits off of Roxy, which is nice. Just because I presume Holy Relic. So again, super simple, super fast clearing team, right? Now again, you can't do that team. That's totally okay. Let's go and do... Let's just pull up a goddess team. Now, this team will work. It really doesn't matter. You can auto farm it if you don't have, like, rather than using Light Liz, I would probably use Mael. Instead, he's going to do a bit more damage, obviously. Margaret's here for the cleanse. These two are here for basic stats. Again, if you don't want to use these guys, you can pretty much use anyone. You could use Liz for the heal. So she'll passively heal 10% at the start of every turn if you're not doing as much damage as maybe you want to be. You can use... Yeah, you can use... Actually, no, you don't want to use this Ludo because you want to have the Margaret for the cleanse, right? It might be LR Margaret. Who knows? This Margaret also has a cleanse. Like, any unit like this is going to be fine. But I'm honestly just going to go on with this. I'm not going to bother about a card set. I'm pretty sure everyone's on HP defense apart from Mael, which is, again, fine. I'm not super fast. It's a pretty straightforward boss, right? Like, I'm just showing you guys a whole bunch of different teams. The quickest one I use is definitely the Ragnarok one, because I can just do a whole bunch of damage with Tyr and Freya and Skadi and all that kind of stuff. But this team you can pretty much auto with, as far as I'm aware. So let's do a buff, and then I'll probably actually proc some basic stats, and then see if this kills. I don't know. Again, haven't tried this team, right? Like, this is kind of how straightforward this boss is. As long as you can get rid of the cleanses, the corrosions, you're in a pretty good spot. So as you can see, Mael's just doing all the damage for me. Sariel's on HP defense, so he's not really doing a lot. With this team, you're kind of relying on Mael a lot to do some damage. So, I mean, if you want, you can even push like ultimates, right? So, again, I'll probably just cleanse this off. He's going to counter, but I'm not really that concerned with it. So I might even just do... Let's do this. This might even kill, to be honest. And then I'll have ult for next turn. If you do, again, if you're not doing enough damage, you can run like, and there you go. Run an Elat if you want to. Doesn't matter. So lucky last, so what we're going to do here is we're going to ult. I'd be interested to see if that crits, but I very much doubt it. We'll do that, and then we'll have Sariel ult for next turn. Alright. I think I might take off that labyrinth skin. Cool. Okay. hoping for a bit of a thumbnail there, fam, but not much. So 408k, mine's only a 2-6 mail, I'm pretty sure. There's some more damage, and then this will probably finish it off. Oh, we did get a crit off, and we're done. Right, so there's a couple of different teams you guys can use. You can auto it with this team if you want to. The other team's super high damage, and the other team will just do well with the corrosion. So there's a couple of teams for you guys to try. Let me know if you're trying a different team down in the comments. There's lots of different ways you can do this, but those are the I find the most effective. So as always, I will catch you guys in the next one, and thanks for watching.